Your girl is tired. It has been a long weekend of WrestleMania, streams, wrestling, the Hall of Fame, just everything and all of the things that have happened. And while I would love to give you a very in-depth review, match by match, of everything that occurred at WrestleMania this weekend, I have something else I think that is more important for me to talk about, or at least that I feel is important. This WrestleMania wasn't just like any WrestleMania. This WrestleMania was a moment in time, a moment in history, and I know we've had plenty of them, and there could be an argument to say that every single WrestleMania is a moment in history, but for maybe the last 10 years, WrestleMania has just felt like a thing that you do. It hasn't felt like there's been as many iconic moments or story-changing moments that have happened, and that's why I can't just sit here and do the rubric of going match by match and pointing out what I liked and what I didn't like and what I think could be different or what I think would have been better, because the entire show was so much more than that. It meant so much more than that. Roman Reigns has held the WWE Undisputed Universal title for nearly 4 years. I had thought that he was going to retain because that just felt like something the WWE would do. I was surprised to see that Cody won because I wanted Cody to win. Maybe I was emotional already because I cried like a baby at the Hall of Fame, but there was something about just the emotions that occurred throughout this entire show. I think I clocked it first in the Sami Zayn and Gunther match on night one, when Gunther was already up on the ramp and I saw him taking the deep breath before he walked down. I had a feeling that he was not going to be winning that match. And I predicted that he was. Sami and Gunther was my match of the night, even with the tag match that followed it. Okay, but the main thing that I really wanted to talk about, I am so glad to be a professional wrestling fan. I am so proud to be a professional wrestling fan. Being a fan of professional wrestling is something that we constantly have to defend and explain. And depending on how long you've been a fan, that gets exhausting. It is an art form that most people don't understand. We are dubbed the weirdos. How could you watch something that's fake? I don't understand it. Why do you like that? What a bunch of children. Isn't this for 12-year-olds? Look at these grown men crying. Look at these adults crying. These people pay taxes. I have seen it all. All of it makes sense when you watch a main event like what happened on night 2 of WrestleMania. The emotion in that building, the emotions of people that I saw recording their reactions that were in the stadium, the flooding of emotions of the craziness of how the match was booked. John Cena came out. Undertaker came out, which I wouldn't have clocked in a million years. We had a moment in the middle of the ring with The Rock and John Cena, and if you know wrestling history, all of these interactions were just long-term storytelling, showing themselves in the main event for a purpose, for the greater good. All of these people showed up in defense of Cody Rhodes to help turn the page in the story of WWE. Roman was the face of the company in a different time, and he did a phenomenal job. The cinema, the emotion, the long-term storytelling of Roman taking his eyes off of Cody Rhodes and focusing on Seth Rollins, a 10-year story in the making of how Roman could never let go of the betrayal of Seth Rollins. That Seth Rollins essentially was the person that created the monster of Roman Reigns. The beauty of Seth showing up in Shield gear. And if you want to analyze it, possibly showing up in Shield gear because he knew that it would spark a memory in Roman of what happened 10 years ago in Indianapolis. The verbiage that was used in the lead up to this moment happening on Raw. Seth saying, "I am suited to be your shield," quoting the Plan B line. And I didn't see it coming. I thought Seth Rollins was gonna turn on Cody, and as I'm watching the match, I'm like, oh my god, I was completely wrong about everything. You know, I've had to listen for a long time about people saying, oh, well, WWE did this, I'm not watching anymore. If WWE does this, I'm not watching anymore. There are so many people that have given up on WWE or have given up on professional wrestling in general. And a match like this makes me so proud that I didn't give up, that I love this art form, and it is an art form, and that when it's done properly, it is absolutely beautiful when it's in the hands of people that also love it. Because those people in the ring, the people that run that company, the people that are doing everything they're doing right now are weirdos just like we are. They're the only people that understand this world. What they are creating is not only for them, it is something that they are putting out for us. In the 4 years that I've been doing this, I have always shied away from talking talking about backstage happenings. I've shied away from talking about big news articles. I've shied away from talking about the rumors and the typical things that people complained about when it came to the product of WWE. But I was there. I watched all of it. I watched the McMahon era. I saw some really good things and I saw some really bad things. I heard the stories just like you did. The scripts being torn up last minute. The plans being changed last minute. The goofy things that McMahon would want to put into matches or storylines. The lack of say in a talent's own character. And for that reason, because I am aware of all of those things that have been talked about, I can't help but be emotional at what we've seen this last weekend that makes it kind of clear that a lot of those things were in fact true. A lot of people were hindered and a lot of people were held back because of the actions of some people that were in charge. The ending of WrestleMania Night 2 is something that we have never seen before. The winner standing in the middle of the ring and his friends within the business coming out to celebrate with him. Friends that he has history with. Friends that have history with each other. All while Seth Rollins is injured on the side of the ring, and I don't know if you saw the clip, but overcome with emotion and crying, because again, I don't know if you know anything about Seth Rollins. I love Seth Rollins. That man loves the business. He is the business, as is Cody Rhodes. That entire moment is just a moment in history that we're going to look back on in 20 years and be like, damn, I can't believe that happened. I remember that. That was the reinvention, the turning of a page in WWE's story. Triple H coming down to the ring, people being able to talk about Triple H, shout out Triple H, even though every single one of them points out that he does not want them to. The emotion of Michael Cole's commentary, not only throughout the whole night, but when Cody wins, and the things that he says leading up to them going off of the air, the embrace between Michael Cole and Cody. And I can't help but think of everything that Michael Cole has witnessed, thinking all of the things that Michael Cole has gone through. And Michael Cole is one of the only people that knows what has been said to him through that earpiece. He is the only one that knows a lot of the things that have gone on behind the scenes. Something as simple as being able to hear the word pro wrestling said multiple times this weekend. And no knock to the term sports entertainment. I understand why it's a term. I understand why it was created and it has its place, but it's been used as an insult. It's been used as a mockery by other people who like professional wrestling, as if it dumbs down what the people in the WWE do. But at the heart of it, it is professional wrestling. It started as pro wrestling. It is wrestling. And the amount of times that they are saying it is such, it's so telling. It's a showing that they are doing it on purpose and for a reason. Things that really sparked some emotion in me was Michael Cole saying that he loves professional wrestling. Being able to say that. I feel like we've seen Michael Cole come out of his shell and have fun and interact in ways that he hadn't for a long time. We allow people like Samantha Irvin to sit ringside and show emotion and show personality in the way that she announces and the way that she interacts with the people that she's announcing. Because not only are a lot of those people her friends, she's a fan. I don't know about you, but I just am very excited for what's to come. I can't wait to see everything that happens. At time of recording, I have seen Monday Night Raw. We had a 45-minute segment of Cody not only ringing in his new era, but paying homage to Roman Reigns and pointing out that he was a moment and that he did carry the company and did deserve his flowers. Do not forget that we have gotten The Rock since the beginning of the year and watched him tell a story, and he's one of the best to ever do it. Despite what you will see on the internet, being able to see The Rock in the ring again and on a microphone in the professional wrestling space is an absolute treat. Do not take it for granted. There's so much negativity in this space, I know, but I think most of us at the heart of it love this and know that what happened this weekend was history. And it is so telling of things that will come, and I can't wait to see it. I am so glad I never gave up on it. I am so glad I have remained in the mindset that I have about the business and about professional wrestling. I'm so glad that I got to witness this. I'm so glad that I'm a part of this community. I'm so glad that I get to interact with other people that understand it. Because if you understand it, it's just the greatest thing in the world. And if you don't, I wish you could experience it. It is the purest art form, and when it is done properly, there's nothing else like it. I love professional wrestling.